and welcome to another Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. And today is a theme day. This entire day is going to be dedicated to Arcadia Quest. And not necessarily all of Arcadia Quest. I'm primarily going to be focusing on Arcadia Quest Riders and some of the content that comes with that. But there might be some other, Arcadia Quest shorts dealing with some of the minis and characters that you can acquire for Arcadia Quest. But what is Arcadia Quest? Well, Arcadia Quest is just that. It's a quest game, and it has these cute little minis or chibis or whatever you want to call it, and that you play along. There's my solo rules for the game. But you get these minis in here, as you can see there. They're kind of I don't know if you call them chibis or what you want to call them, but they're kind of cool. And you're going on a quest, and it's meant to be played. It's not necessarily cooperative, although when you play an adventure, you're all trying to defeat the baddies. But it's kind of who defeats the baddies the best gets the most of the prize, right? But it's kind of a cooperative, and it's a little bit of an RPG-ish type game in that your characters advance and get stuff that they can take to them to the next part of the quest. And there's several adventures, and then there's several expansions to this. There's a lot of gameplay in just the box you get, but then there are several, like there's a lava, and there's all kinds of different expansions that add on a whole bunch of new quests. And then there's a bunch of different types of expansions that add new features. There's a whole series of pets, which I didn't get into. There are ones that just add in new characters, which I'll probably do some shorts on that today. And then here's some of the minis of the baddies and stuff like that. But it's a fun game. It's a nice kind of quest game, kind of a fantasy quest game. As I said, that has a lot of different expansions, of which what I'm going to be talking about today is Riders. And so Arcadia Quest is really not that complicated of a game to play, and so when you add on expansions, it's really not that hard to add them on. Like pets really just gave you a pet. It gave you another companion that could help you with attacks and help you do certain things as you were fighting the baddies and trying to outmaneuver some of the other people on the board. Riders, it gives you, I can mention this, wait for it, mounts. It gives you not something a little bit more than a pet. It gives you a mount, something that you can fly around with, ride around with, move around with on the board, and that's really what it adds. I mean, there's not a lot of complexity that it adds. It's very straightforward. The mounts are huge, chunky, take up a lot of spaces, but it just gives you something to ride around on the board and anything that kind of goes along with that. Let's take a look at the back of the box here. And so I'm not going to cover, there's a lot of videos out there on Arcadia Quest, so you can find how to play it, and I might do some playthroughs or get into some of the details of how to play it later on. But today I really want to do Riders. I've got at least 2 or 3 videos on rider content, and then I'll have some shorts on some just characters that I've picked up over the time and haven't got around to unboxing them, so I thought I'd save them for you all. So what do you get in Arcadia Quest Riders? Well, you get mounts. You get 15 highly detailed plastic miniatures. There they are. So these are new mounts, and you get a couple of new characters. And the characters have, not only do you get a little mini that goes along with them, but you get, they have unique and special abilities, each of the characters. So it's very asymmetrical in that regard. You get 6 mount cards. So those are the cards that go along with the mount to tell you kind of what their special abilities are. They have unique abilities just kind of like the characters. You get 4 mount dashboards. That's the board where you're going to keep track of any mount stuff, any special abilities, cards or stuff that goes with them. 15 quest cards, so there's going to be some new quests that are associated with this. 8 monster cards, so some new monsters as well, and I think that's these guys over here. So you get a little bit of a new variety of baddies to fight. And it requires Arcadia Quest, which I have, or Inferno. Inferno's that other expansion. It's like a whole standalone expansion for Arcadia Quest that pets and riders and any of the individual characters can easily morph into that. Let's look at what it says in the back here. It says, the wildlands of Arcadia are under threat. Wondrous beasts, as large as they are strange, have left their home and now roam the streets of the great city. However, something wicked is following close behind. Malkhor, the eternal hunter, Malkhor, the eternal hunter, that's what's falling behind. Now the guilds must recruit their new beast friends to their cause and ride into battle. It's high time the hunter became the hunted. Also, what you're going to get in here too, as you see, two new hero cards. Get a campaign book, so you get a whole campaign that deals with, I think, with these riders and this Malkhor and some of the new baddies. You get 3 double-sided game tiles. It's going to have like stalls and stuff like that, so stuff that kind of fits in with the riders. But these tiles is how you play the game. You'll lay these out, and there'll be specialized game boards or layouts depending on the scenario. And they're really nice and thick and grid type mount boards. Then you're going to get a campaign sheet as well. So anyway, I've said everything that's in here. Why don't we take a look at what's in here so we can see what you get. Now, I got this as part of a Kilroy's bargain. Arcadia Quest, I don't know if this is really supported anymore. You can still get a lot of the stuff. The stuff is still out there, and I got this as a kind of a clearance sale, really cheap. And that's why I picked it up. They now have Starcadia Quest, which is like a space version of this. I think that is still being supported. Maybe not. But there's a lot of stuff out there for Arcadia Quest that you can like pick up. You can get you can find it on discounts and clearance and stuff like that. So I don't think it's currently in print. I could be wrong on that, but if it's not, I think it's not impossible to find. Here are those mount cards that they talked about right out of the box here. So this is where you'll keep track of what mount you have. You'll put their card there. Then if they have any special cards or stuff that go along with them, you'd put that there. So you get 4 of those, and they're decent thickness. They're just like the character cards that are in the base game. Here is the rule book for riders. Now, that's a relatively thick rule book. And you might sit there and go, my God, I thought you said there didn't add that much more complexity. Well, it really doesn't. Let's see what we have. We have a rule summary here. We have the inventory. So this is how you kind of save games in between games. You'll write down what character you were playing and what cards they had and all the stuff they have, so that you can kind of keep track of where you're at, so you can stop mid-campaign and then pick it up later on. Here's the campaign sheet for the Riders campaign. Now there's a lot in here about the new enemies here. You've got the what are those things? Can't even read that there. Looks like they're Jackals. And there's that Malkhor, the Eternal Hunter. Nice fellow. And then this is going to be a little description on each of the new mounts that come in here. And you also got some new heroes. So that's all kind of background material. Here is the campaign. This, as you can see here, is kind of how you do the setup. It'll tell you which of the tiles you need, where everybody starts. And like here's the tiles. It'll have a 9 tile grid and where you put all the tokens and where everybody starts. So this is a campaign here. So let's get, and that's what most of this is the campaign. So the rules themselves for the riders, so this is still the campaign. The rules themselves look like they're only about 10 pages. So not a lot of new rules. Everything else here is this campaign. That is a whole new fresh campaign to add to the one that you have in the base game, or in Inferno if you have Inferno. So that's kind of cool. So there's quite a bit of gameplay in here. And I don't know if all these... so this tells you what you need to have the components from. So this one you need to have pets. So I don't have pets, so I'm not going to be able to play that, or at least not play it fully in that regard. So So quite a bit of new content here to play the game if you're kind of sick of playing the old game, right? Or you've played it out. Let's put it that way. So here's the contents. Here's the game components. We saw some of that on the back. We'll get to the minis here in a second. Here are the new starting mounts, playing with mounts. So now we're getting into the rules of the mounts. Here's like a mount card here, talking about what its special ability is, its name and the like. And it tells you how to move because they're so chunky, they're going to take up a whole spot. So really not a lot of rules on the new mount. So you got page 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So like 5 pages maybe of rules. So not a lot on to get the mounts into the game. Here's your campaign sheet. This is a pad of these, so you can keep track of those. And then you also have on the back kind of where your save is at, where you want to, what the characters had at the end of that section of the campaign. It's a nice save mechanism here. Here are the new tiles. Let's get into those and see what they look like. I imagine they're going to be similar quality as the ones in the base game. And if you, some of the other expansions might have added more tiles. I know Inferno has all new tiles. Because it's all about Inferno, right? So fire and stuff. So here, nice thickness there. And as you can see, really cool, kind of cool graphics. You can see a broom there. But it's kind of a grid format. So these are stalls for the mounts, and you'll be moving around through them like that. And they're double-sided there. And this one, I think, plays off the Inferno game, so you can match up the kind of the tiles there, and maybe that was the Inferno there. So you've got kind of the regular Arcadia Quest and then the Inferno. I imagine you can still probably use that tile. I just don't know if it has any special abilities or damage or anything because I don't have Inferno. Let's look at these cards here. These are the small cards, so these are going to be some new equipment and stuff. So you got a mallet here. Here's a war mallet. Here's a whip, so that might be important. Here's a stirrup, so that kind of goes along with the mounts, right? A bridle, that goes along with the mounts. A cool whip, okay, nice pun. A mount whisperer, so some of these are really kind of mount plate that are kind of tied to this whole theme of this expansion, right? A comfy saddle, gotta have that. So those are the small cards there. Let's see what we have here. We've got 2 decks here. And if any of you have, Arcadia Quest has been out for a long time. In fact, I think it's been kind of defunct for a long time. So I'm kind of late to the game on this. I played Arcadia Quest I was kind of late getting to it, but I played it quite a bit back in the day. And again, I just was waiting for pets or mounts to kind of go on sale, and mounts were the first one that I saw for a really cheap price and decided to pick them up, if not only to have the minis, right? So there's some of your new baddies there, the Jackals, or Jack LOL, so Jackal, something like that. Here's your big baddie. And then you got some new here are your mounts. Well, these are new characters. You got some new characters there with their special ability. And then you got the mounts, the cards for the mounts. Okay. And spoiler alert, I might have even more mounts to show today. Put those there. I probably won't keep this this insert because I didn't keep the insert. As you saw before, I just dump everything, I bag it and dump everything in there. But I'll probably keep all the mount stuff in here and might shift some stuff back and forth. So here, so these are new quest cards, it looks like here. Like Expel the Jackals. Save the pets. Well, if I don't have any pets, I won't be able to save any. So we got some new quests there. That's kind of cool. And then we've got a big box of minis which that is what this is all about, right? This is from Cool Mini or Not, so you would expect them to have some pretty cool minis, right? So here's the new big baddie. Look at that. That's a nice chunky piece right there. Look at it. He's got a little hand crossbow there. That's cool. And then here's those Jackals. Probably not pronouncing it right, but so you got some of those. And then the new heroes to mix and match in there. Looks a little bit like a Ewok. Interesting. It's got like a sling there. Then we got the new mounts, and so the mounts are huge. Look at that. And then, these, you put a ring on the bottom of this to delineate who is the player, playing this, so that with the ring they'll fit nicely into the mount there, as you can see. And they're going to take up quite a bit of space on the board there. As you can see, they're going to take up a whole square there. So there you have it. And you get quite a few mounts in here. It looks like we get 6 unique mounts. Now I can't put it back. There we go. And I think some of these fly. And, they all have special abilities. It's like a rhino. It's cool. Oh, look at this thing here. That looks like it's immovable, right? Cool. So there you have it. That is what you get in a box of Arcadia Quest Riders. You get the mounts. So you get some new boards, you get a lot of minis, you get the mounts, you get rules on the mounts, you get a whole new quest, which I think is kind of cool. I wonder if they did that in pets. Again, I don't have pets, so I imagine they might have done that in pets as well, of add a whole new quest to that. And there's actually a scenario in here to deal with pets, and a nice thick book with a lot of background in there. But that is it. That is what you get in a box of Arcadia Quest Riders. Love to know your thoughts on this. Take care. Thanks for watching.